Well, this might be the most selfish video that you will probably see today on your YouTube feed. The reason I'm saying this because I'm recording this video for myself. I'm recording this video for the person that I was 6, 7, 8 months ago. And I know that by doing this and by recording this video, this will indirectly relate to a lot of people that is in the same spot that I was 8 months ago. So my name is Carles, okay? The reason I'm recording this video is because I just hit 9K a month as a closer in the high ticket space, online education space. And if you don't trust me, I will put like a screenshot that proves that. I know sometimes you have to do this for people to believe that. But the reason I wanna record this because it's been a hell of a ride since I started in the high ticket space, online education space, in the agency space, all this space. And I know a lot of people are trying to get into the same space and they're not even, they're not either having the experience or the confidence or the skills, or they're not getting accepted into the offer. So I just want to explain my process that took me from zero, not knowing where to go with my life, literally, okay, finishing college in the US, in Philadelphia, and not knowing where to go, to the point right now where I'm making 9K a month, and every single month I'm making more money. Okay, so for context, I'm recording this video from the south of Spain. I'm in Murcia, which is a region next to Marbella. Maybe you know Marbella in Spain. And I'm having the freedom that I want. I'm working the hours that I want. I'm working from whatever I want. Like I'm going to Las Vegas in a few weeks. I've been going to Dubai. I've been going to London. I've been going to New York. Like it gives you the freedom that you want, but also creating the impact with the product that you're selling, which in my case is a fantastic product. So I wanted to record this video because I know a lot of people are trying to get into this space, don't know how to go about it. So I'm just gonna explain my process, okay? I started this when I was in college. I was doing finances. The only reason that I was in college is because I had a full scholarship. I'm from Barcelona. I'm from a small town called Castelldefels, and I was playing semi-professional in Spain. So when I finished the contract over there, I was 18, 19 years old, and I got the opportunity to go to the US with a full scholarship. Okay, so I decided to go there, study finances. In that situation, like in the time that I made the decision, I was like, this is fantastic. I'm gonna do finances. I'm gonna get a 9 to 5, and I'm gonna do all that stuff so that I'm happy and my parents are happy and all of that. And it was not until I got there. The first year was amazing. The classes were so easy. Second year was also good. And the second year, that's when I started in the agency space and I started doing everything online. And I started recognizing patterns that I didn't want to be part of. Like, I saw my professors were not having the life that they wanted, but they were teaching finances when some of them didn't even work in the industry. And then I saw a lot of people, just going through the day to day and not being happy, not being fulfilled. And that's when I started my own business in the US. As a 20-year-old, it was horrible. The first business that I created, it was an agency, and we had a few clients, but obviously we were not able to deliver the results that we wanted. Well, long story short, that's when I started with all of that. Okay, and I invested into a high ticket program that allowed me to get some skills to scale the agency, the second agency that I created, and I got a few clients, and I got into motion. But I realized that it was not the path that I wanted to follow either. Like I didn't love the running the business on a day-to-day basis. I was in college. I was playing soccer, in the university, and I had a lot of commitments that didn't allow me to obviously grow the business, and make it good, because of course I could run a business 2 hours a day, but at the beginning you gotta be in the trenches, and that was not the case, and my businesses were not doing good. So. And I kind of had this moment that I remember that I was like, this is not working. I've been 2 years in the space. I'm not making progress. And I decided to stop everything. And that was like the third year being in the US. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do finances. I'm gonna get a 9 to 5. But in the back of my mind, I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to do the finance thing. I don't want to do, like, I started looking for jobs. I started applying for jobs. But deep down, this is not what I wanted. And I was like 4 or 5 months that I was like, I don't know what to do with my life. I was still running the agency a little bit, but there was no motion. Okay, and that was when I got an offer that allowed me to get into the high ticket closing. So at the beginning I was doing setting. I was cold calling people from a list. I was just setting on school and all the platforms, and I was doing all of that for the offer that I'm in right now. And that's how I started with him. And then he asked me if I wanted to get into the high ticket closing because he was booking so many calls, and obviously he's the business owner, so he needed to do a lot of things. And he asked me if I wanted to do sales, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. So that's how I started. In my first 2 calls, I already converted people, and I already closed 2 clients for the business. Full transparency, was on a payment plan that was like horrible, but at least I closed 2 clients for the business, and I think I made like 1K from that. Like I made 1K for the business, and I got my first commissions. And at that point, I was like, okay, right now I don't even have the skills of sales, and I'm already closing people. What if I get better at this? So I took it seriously. I started doing that, and mind you, back then I still had the habits of the person that I was. I still had the perspective, the belief systems that I had all my life. And it's not until I started changing my belief systems and taking actions and taking decisions, changing my behaviors from the person that I wanted to be. It's not until I start getting results and start getting better. Okay, so the first month, I think I made like $400 on commission, which was horrible, right? But I already started doing that. And the next month was 900, and the other one was 1500 on commissions. That's when I realized, like, if I'm making 1500 right now and I suck at sales, if I go all in on this and I literally burn the ships, I can get so good at this that I can make 5, I can make 10, I can make 15, I can make 20K a month, like some people that is in the space. And I didn't realize the space was even there, and I was all the time in there. But I didn't realize about the online education, I didn't realize about the closing space, and I kind of just found it. I didn't look for it, it was just a natural transition from someone that I knew that offered me that position because he was getting so many calls. So I started doing that, and it was a moment where I was 6 months away from finishing college, and I didn't want to go the financial route, go into the corporate, go into the 9 to 5, and yeah, maybe making like 5K a month, but not being fulfilled about it. So I remember burning the ships. I remember 7 months ago, 8 months ago, and that was in November 2024, December 2024. At that time, and I had to make one of the most difficult decisions I've ever made in my life, which was breaking up relationships that I value the most, just because I needed to focus on this. I needed to take this opportunity. And what I mean by relationships is, I don't want to disclose anything or anyone here, but I had a girlfriend that I truly love with all my heart, And, by having a girlfriend, obviously there is attention, there is energy that needs to be dedicated to that person, And by that time, I was in Philadelphia and she was in another state. So we also had to move and travel, and it was a lot of energy, time, attention that I was spending when it comes to that of course was valued, because it was a person that I love with my whole heart, and I think I will always love, But I had to burn the ships, and I was honest with her in a way where it's like, look, I need to take this opportunity. This might take everything from me, and this might take, this might be like the end of us, because I'm gonna put so much time into this, because I want to get to 5, I want to get to 10K, I want to get to 15K, so my family and the people around me don't have to worry about money anymore. And that was a pivotal moment where everything changed for me. I went from 1500 a month to 6K a month in literally 1 month. I decided to take all the money that I had, okay, plus some financing and credit card, to go all in. And I invested in a 7K program, I put, I think it was like a 2K payment, like down payment. And then I put everything on a financing or a payment plan. And that's how I started. I invested into myself to get better at sales. And I literally went from 1500, 2K a month to 6K a month, And I literally 3x my income just because I went all in. I burned all the ships. It was tough because I was sitting on a chair in my bedroom. That was a studio in Philadelphia. I was sitting there for like 14 hours a day, some days even like 15 hours a day. I would just literally wake up, take calls, get better, study sales, do this, do that, call people. Like, I was doing everything in my power to get to at least 5K a month, because that was one of my goals, And then I got to 6, and then I got to 7, and then I got to 8, and then I got to 9. So like, I burned relationships, which I'm not telling you have to burn relationships, but if your energy and attention needs to be focused on this all in, you need to sacrifice some things, and it's the name of the game. You need to sacrifice. I sacrificed parties. I was in college. It was a lot of parties and like events that I lost on just because I was all in with this. And of course, I would have liked to spend more time with some of my friends, even some of my teammates, like I lost relationship with a lot of people just because of this. But now it allows me to have the freedom that I want and start the life that I want. I literally transcended myself into another person. Like maybe even go to my channel. You can see the videos from like 6, 7, 8 months ago. I don't know if I still have them, but you know, I transcended myself. I became another man. I became another person for the past 6, 7, 8 months. And now I'm at a point where I'm stuck. I'm stuck at, 7, I'm stuck at 6, 7, 8, 9K a month. I'm at that range. And I know that I need to become another person to get to the 15K, to get to the 20K. And eventually, whether it takes months, whether it takes years, get to 100K a month. Because I want to be that rep. I want to be the sales rep that gets to 100K a month. Whether it takes me months, whether it takes me years, like I don't care. I'm going to put everything in my power to do that. I came here to the south. This is an apartment that I have, well, my family has. I just came here by myself. I could have been in Barcelona, taking less calls, enjoying the family and doing all of that. But I came here to have all focus on this, and be able to just concentrate on this so that I'm able to make 15K, 20K as a closer, as a high ticket rep, and be able to put my family in that position, So I know I'm yapping a little bit here, but I hope this serves you, okay? And I know a lot of people are trying to get into the space, and they think that high ticket closing is just sitting like 4 or 5 hours a day. You work 4 or 5 hours a day. You take some calls with super qualified people, and then you close 3 of them, and then you make money. You make $1,000, $3,000 a day. It's not how it works. This takes all of your energy. This will take, if you're somebody that is starting out in sales, this will take all of your energy to first understand the product that you're selling. Second, understand the industry that we're in and the skepticism that a lot of people have in this industry. Because, a lot of people come to the calls and they're like, well, is this a scam? Is this... You need to deal with these people and you need to change their perspective and their belief systems, right? So that they're able to change their life. Also, I want to talk about the impact that you can have as a high ticket sales rep. It's not about the commissions that you make. Yeah, that is super cool. And that's part of the job, And you depend on your own self to get your income, to make more money. Like, you're literally in control of your life. So if you're somebody that lacks discipline, lacks, like determination, and is just fucking around, basically, you're gonna struggle in this industry because it takes discipline, But again, I want to make it, because I know a lot of people talk about in the space and they make it sound like it's so easy to get in here. It is easy to get an offer. If you have basic skills in sales, you can get to a decent offer. You can start selling people. You can start selling for the company. But it would take a lot of you to stay in here, because 1 month that is bad, in terms of sales. If that if that goes 2 months, you might be out of your job. So you need to get better every single day, and it would take all of you. So if you're watching this video right now, and again, like, I'm just making this video again for myself, okay? Maybe in 6 months I watch this and I'm like, wow, what a transition. But I'm also recording this for like the people that is just trying to get into this space, and they think it's gonna be so easy. I see a lot of people just trying to get into this because they think it's gonna be so easy. It's not. It's gonna be painful. Trust me. Like sitting 14 hours a day on your chair, just getting better at sales, going through all these YouTube videos, going through programs. If you're somebody that is trying to get just better with just YouTube videos, you don't have... How are you gonna ask somebody to pay you 6K on a call if you cannot even invest that into yourself, right? Like, it's gonna be a mirror. Sales is a mirror, and you're gonna have that feeling when you ask for 6K to somebody. You're not gonna be even convinced because it's impossible. You haven't done it. So I was talking with one of my setters that we have right now in the company. We were talking about that. Like, he wants to transition from setting to closing, but he hasn't invested into himself. The first thing I told him is like, dude, you need to invest in yourself. You're gonna sell a product that is 5, that is 6, that is 7K. How are you gonna ask that for people if you haven't yourself? So that's another point that I wanted to touch, because that's super important as well. And I see a lot of people getting into the space thinking that it's gonna be easy. So burn the bridge, burn the ships. That's my point. That's what I wanted to do and what I wanted to just create today. So just burn the ships, and I hope this video helps, and I will see you in the next one.